Hey guys, Ben here. Welcome back to another live stream. Today we are live with the DCTVshow episode 137. We got Andy as always. We got Deck as always. DC Central. The links are in the description as always. And today we got some big topics to talk about to do with the CW, some news this week, and then also got an update to do with Smallville and that animated sequel we all talked about a while ago. And also we got some other talk that is not DC related, like the Oscars wanting to include a stunt category.
Wait, we gotta do the Grant Gustin face on the thumbnail, like I was being shocked. Come on, Dave, join in with us. Come on, we gotta be.
That's
there
it.
We go. Okay, there we go. There we go.
You gotta use it. That's anything CW. Grant Gustin's. Anyway, we're also gonna.
I can't tell your videos apart anymore.
Yeah.
It is,
Well,
you know what, Ben? It is
use it
something
too
that's actually getting hard. Because something I want to go back like watch all episodes, but fuck, which one is it? Like, because
Which one am I on?
they all have the same stuff. Yeah, it's true. We're also going to talk about Venom 3 at the end of the live stream, just for you Marvel fans out there.
you Marvel fans, that's like the new like, you people.
This the channel is not DCTV anymore. We can talk about that as well, of course. But yeah, send in super chats throughout the live stream if you want to be answered by us, and please be sure to comment along throughout the live stream, and we'll be sure to answer your questions as we go along. Welcome, Michael. Michael says, "Wait, why is there a Smallville cartoon? I know about the comics. Yeah, there was a comic. There was a comic sequel. Yeah, and then now this is a different thing. We'll talk about it in a minute, Michael.
Yeah.
Shall we start with All American?
I just want to warn the viewers. I have a bit of a migraine, so I'm taking painkiller, but these are like really strong ones, so there's a good chance I'm gonna get very, very loopy. So if this is your
the camera,
this is your chance now. If you want to try and get scoops out of me, give it about 30 minutes or so, and we will see where it takes us.
Okay, we're gonna be me and Deck will think of some questions for about 30 minutes.
Where's Gary? Where's Gary?
Where's Gary? Come on, Gary. This is your time to
this is your time.
Michael, you don't want these. First of all, these are absolutely disgusting, and secondly, something I don't remember the next day what happened. So,
and he's not enjoying this, guys. This is just necessary.
This is supposed to be a strawberry taste, but like I'm like bullshit. It tastes like strawberry. Like, it smells like shit.
It tastes like ass. Yeah, literally. No, I don't know how strong they are, but I get the idea.
Craig knows how strong they are.
Andy's black wife beater is going to turn into Venom once he has enough.
Because he talked about this. And again, I've told him several times, I don't fit in t-shirts. That's why I wear tank tops. So the first time he said, no, you know what he did? No, let me before we get, let me tell you a little fun story. What this man did to me at the Comic-Con.
So, Craig is the Flash TV site owner and
Flash TV News is what we call it.
Flash TV News. Anyway,
Krypton. You're dreaming about Krypton site. He's also Krypton site. Yeah, Craig. So the first time I ever heard what a wife beater was, so we were at Comic-Con, and I think I was like hanging out with some people, and then we met up with Craig. Or Craig, I ran into Craig, and he was like, "Oh, look at you! Oh, you're wearing a wife beater. I see." I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And like my friend starts laughing, and I'm like, Frank, I don't beat women. I don't beat. I don't. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, and then when you get home, just search for wife beater. So I go home and I search for it, and apparently it's a type of tank top. And I was like, oh my fucking god, this man like had me so worried because I'm like, what is he talking about?
You're worried that you had a wife.
I was.
Yeah, but just add a can of Stella, and then you're basically there.
But that's how I found out what a wife beater is. So, but let's get some hot topics.
Yeah, let's get into some hot topics. Welcome, Man on the Moon. Nice to have you here. Also to Craig as well, of course. Oh my god, yeah. Blake Jenner. yeah, we shall not talk about him. But let's talk about All American. Let's talk about the CW. Let's get into this. I'm gonna go straight to you, Andy. Thoughts on All American Homecoming being cancelled?
I was actually surprised. I actually thought that one would survive because of how well All American does, and I think Homecoming does pretty good on Netflix. So I actually was thrown off by it, but like um, the fact that we only have now All American is, I mean, the CW is as good as dead. I would, but only here's the thing. I was actually like honestly like the next day expecting them to start reporting, oh, they're shopping around to other places, or like they're gonna move it to Netflix and so. Which I'm like, why don't you just put it on? If you already have distribution rights on Netflix, just and if it's doing well for Netflix, like Netflix should pick it up. But also, it's Warner Brothers Television will get Warner Brothers, they will get money. That David has to love himself some money, with the 40 billion debts or whatever he has. So, yeah, I was surprised. I was definitely surprised because I thought, okay, they got rid of Walker so they can give us both of All American, but I don't know what they're thinking, how they're thinking anymore over there, because like nothing makes sense. Because you think, okay, they're cutting costs here and they're cutting costs here, okay, so they're gonna make sure that they can pick up something else, but then they don't do it, and they just keep importing other shows from other countries. I'm like,
to me, it actually made a lot of sense. Like I was expecting it, only because my mindset for a while has been the only show they're going to keep is All American just because of that Netflix deal, and everything else they don't give a shit. Like, I don't think they thought, oh, Stargirl's shit, oh, Legends is shit, let's cancel these shows. I don't think they think All American Homecoming's bad, but it's just like surplus to what they want to do, right? Because it just costs money. They don't get the Netflix deal with that show, even though it's a spin-off off of a show that they've just renewed. So they renewed All American, the original show, for season 7. And I guarantee you the only reason it's still surviving is because of that deal, because it came out pre-2019 when they stopped that deal. So yeah. Dec, what's your thoughts on all of that?
Yeah, I was kind of similar. Like, I think when you're looking at the international distribution deals, that's huge for the CW, especially at this point in time when the CW is basically irrelevant when it comes to ratings. Like they don't care anymore. So those kind of international distribution deals are very important. So like I say, All American getting renewed for season 7 is logical. The spin-off getting cancelled, also logical.
Yeah.
I do wonder when All American's going to wrap up, because it is the last remaining remnant of that previous regime.
Yep.
Especially now that the Flash is gone. It is literally that last show. So I imagine it's only got, 1 or 2 seasons left in it, but it depends when that contract with Netflix expires, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it expires, but I know that all the shows that were previously a part of the deal still shown. Like I believe in America, like the Flash and stuff is still on Netflix, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure because
I think for another year or two, and then I think I read some, maybe Craig can correct me on that.
Yeah.
But I read somewhere that once a show has ended its run on television, Netflix gets to air it on the platform for at least an X amount of more years, and then the rights are up. So but again, it's like, are they gonna take it to HBO and Max? See, I can't get rid of HBO. Like it makes more sense. But like, are they gonna take it to Max, or is Warner Brothers gonna renew and be like, no, keep having all these shows on Netflix?
They should if they want money, because Max is not making them that much money compared to these deals with like Netflix, right? Or especially that's what the CW standpoint is. Because I've been thinking about this, and I think if Superman Lois came out in 2018-19 season, I think it would still be going on. Because that's all Nexstar cares about. They don't care about the shows specifically. Even if Brad Schwartz is like bigging up the shows and stuff, like he's only doing that for publicity. I don't think they care. So, do you guys agree?
Yeah,
I'd say so. Yeah, I think there's a very high chance that if it did release back then, we'd still be seeing it airing, just because it will have that built-in money coming in constantly.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think there's a chance. I mean, who knows? It's one of them. Like, the Flash has that deal, and that ended.
Yeah.
So you can't really say for sure. But I think it definitely would have gone on longer. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Flash had the deal and it ended. I guess that was kind of like mutual agreement. But yeah, I think Nexstar definitely didn't want to continue making it. That's for sure. They were just nice enough to not cancel it, I guess. And but then for the other shows, Supergirl had the deal and Arrow had the deal, but that was before their time, so there's nothing really to do with them. Craig in the chat is saying Netflix is much more profitable for the studio than Max is. That's very true because Max just relies on subscribers, and I guess some people who do the ad plans, I guess they get some ad payments. Michael says it seems CW's getting rid of all their shows, especially the Arrow shows. Well, yeah, they're all gone. But yeah, they're getting rid of everything. And Craig says the Flash likely ended because the actors were done. Yes, that's what I mean. They were ready to end it anyway. And the Netflix deal, or no, it would cost too much to give all the raises to do more. Yeah, it's very, very true. Also, Flash season 10 or 11 would be full of Virtue and not enough Barry or Iris. Yeah. So Virtue would have taken over, guys. It's been confirmed by Flash TV News.
And you can listen to the Virtue podcast on Flash TV News because I'm sure as fuck would not have kept doing Flash podcasts if, Virtue would have happened.
Yeah, the Virtue podcast.
Can you believe, like, a year later, like, we ended the Flash with so much Cecile in it that it's kind of like, could you imagine like, if that character had just never existed?
Well, I mean, she was there in season 1, then didn't show up for like 2 seasons, right? What was it?
She was she's been in every season. It was until season 4.
But she wasn't a main character. She was just a guest star, right?
She was a guest star in season 1 and 2, and then she got promoted to series regular. But I was like, it's when she got her powers that they really fucked her up.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was so bad. Like, I'm sorry, like nothing against her. Like, I really like the actor. I actually interviewed her once ages ago. She's really nice, but it was just the writing and the character just wasn't good. Oh my god.
The thing is, if it wasn't Cecile, they would have just had another character in that spot. And it just so happened that I think maybe the actress was available to go to the show full time, and obviously she had like links to like Joe previously. But they would have just written in a new character to fulfill that spot if it wasn't Cecile.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
And
I guess in a way, I would have preferred it to be. I would have preferred it to be a character who did have like previous links compared to like just an original character who they just sort of came up with on the spot.
Yeah. But
I think someone like Bart Allen would have been like a lot of fun to like like how around.
Yeah. No, I agree. I would have loved to see him. I liked when Nora was series regular. I know not everyone was a big fan of her, but I really liked her.
She wasn't the problem. It was Cicada that was the problem.
Cicada was rubbish.
Yeah.
I agree. But you remember that one time that Cecile, when Joe wasn't around, was pretty much acting as Joe and her. That was like, I think the most obvious it's ever been that she was like a plot device almost.
Yeah, but wasn't Jesse L. Mine injured or something?
Yeah.
He had a surgery. He had a surgery. He had to get a surgery in the middle of the season.
Yeah, and then Cecile just got like double the screen time.
Yeah, he was just filling 2 spots at once. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on to our next topic. We're going to talk a little bit of Smallville. This is very much up Craig's alley. And I know Nathan in the chat.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say up Craig's ass.
Well, yeah, kind of. I think he went to the Talkville event, so he's definitely a big, big fan. And yeah, so we're going to talk about the Smallville animated update. This is actually a quote off of Craig's website. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to the Krypton site article. But basically, we're not talking about the Talkville stuff just yet. We got a hug from Tom Welling. That's nice. Don't we all wish? Wait, Deck, are you going to be going to that Comic-Con in Wales, just quickly?
I mean, I really want to. It's just figuring it out.
Do they do press passes?
Yeah, I'm looking into it. I'm looking into it.
If they do
just
press
wait, is Tom gonna be there?
No. Isn't Steven coming?
Steven's going. There's like a few cast members from Arrow, like John Barrowman, Colton Haynes, Matt Ryan, and then to be fair, there's also like it's a great lineup overall. They've also got like a lot of cast members from The Boys are going as well. Like even like Giancarlo Esposito's going, Jensen Ackles is going. So it's a really good lineup, which is why I do want to go. But it is literally like South Wales, so it's like a good like 3 hours away from me.
If it was North Wales, it would be like really good for you. So
yeah, literally like 10
South Wales is like Bristol almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's far. Anyway, that's off topic, guys. But yeah, it looks like a really good Comic-Con. I'll have a look into it. But yeah, Smallville. Let's talk about the animated show. Previously talked about this show. The quote is from Krypton's site. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below. So Michael Rosenbaum actually said Tom Welling and I are working on a Smallville animated series that we're going to try and get made. So he confirmed at, I believe it was Nashville Comic-Con. And he went on to say, it's going to take time. And we have heard part of this, but we haven't heard the end of this. So we're just going to get into this. But the creators of Smallville are attached. They want to be a part of it. When it's the right time, we'll pitch it. So we've heard all of this. But we've been working on it. And we have some loose animation that we've worked on with someone who was just awesome. It looks great. So if we can get it made, that would be awesome. So what the new addition here is, he basically confirmed they have some loose animation. I guess that is building up towards when they want to pitch, I would presume. So it's just good to hear that there is some sort of development. That's something new as far as I know. But yeah, he didn't say too much there. But the animation, the fact that they got something, I guess that just kind of is more reassuring, even though I think previously on another stream, we all said that out of all these projects we hear about, this seems quite concrete just because Tom is attached, Michael is attached, and then you got the showrunners of Smallville, you got the rest of the cast. They're all attached, barring that one actor who is very controversial. Yeah. I forgot her name for a second. I don't know why. But yeah, so
do you need her to brand her name onto you? Do you remember it?
No. Well,
is it too soon? Is it too soon? Maybe.
Yeah. So what do we think of that and the fact that they've got a little bit of loose animation, as he puts it? That's good.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think like we spoke about this previously, but I think this has a very strong potential happening purely for the fact that I feel like this is very low commitment for DC and Warner Brothers at this point. Like they've clearly they've got a team of people who want to do it. It's clearly a passion for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I even think even as an animated project, like it's not going to be that expensive for them to produce.
Deck, I think something is on fire behind you. I see smoke.
What?
I see smoke, but I saw smoke behind them. Like,
oh
Annie,
no, no, that might be vape smoke.
Oh,
I'm gonna guess. Did you just vape? Yeah, she just vaped. That's it. But thanks for your concern, Andy. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the concern. I thought you were just tripping out, Andy, because I didn't see shit.
No, but I was like, see something like down there. I'm like, either I'm like the meds are kicking in. I'm like, something is on fire. Okay.
My first thought.
Okay. Thank God. He's okay. Everything is all right then.
We're all good. Yeah. So Smallville's probably gonna happen.
Yeah. What do you think of it, Andy?
No, I mean, I think it's when I talked to Michael, this was this is kind of like similar to what he said. I think it's good. I don't know if the animation part had been done at that point, but I'm happy that they're really trying to commit to this pitch and so on. And I think the thing is, like, I think Smallville does have a place in the current DC landscape. I think
Mhm.
that I think it's probably they're more likely to greenlight this as an Elseworlds kind of project than any movies right now, because I think a TV show is it's a little cheaper.
Yeah.
So I hope hopefully I wonder who like their animation designer is, what kind because that's the thing, because there's now with any new animated show for anything, you can always find your new style, like the Spider-Verse movies, or like Arcane or whatever. And so I wonder kind of like what they would do here. Like would it be like kind of like semi-realistic of what they look like in real life, or will they kind of just draw directly from the season 11 comics? So there's a lot of I think there's a lot of cool opportunities with that. Is it gonna happen like immediately? I mean, I think like I wouldn't be shocked if they had something by 2026. Like if they want, like like once the new DC universe has kind of gotten up and running a little bit, and this would also be a good show to have on Max as well. To like hopefully, and then hopefully that that can encourage Warner Bros. To finally take Smallville back to Max. It's still on Hulu.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, listen, I love Smallville, so I will, I'm here for it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, me too. I think we're all ready for it. That clip is gonna, stick around for a while. Hopefully, someone clip that. Andy's Deck's reaction. That was great.
But I also, I'd like to point out as well. I think that this is a great entry point. I think for DC in regards to Elseworld stuff. Like obviously they've got Joker and whatnot, which people are familiar with, but I think getting people invested in the idea of Elseworlds, like the general public, I think it's really smart for them to start with something like this, where it's a previous property people know and is beloved. They can jump into that and go, oh, this is something I've seen before and I know it, and I know that this is different from what we're doing now. And again, it just opens so many possibilities. Like the idea of a Smallville animated series is so cool to me. And again, the fact that, at some point down the line, if it's good, if it's successful, we might get an Arrowverse one at some point, and that would be awesome.
Love that. Yeah.
So I think this is.
No, go on.
I think that's really exciting.
Now, I was wondering for you guys in the UK, where did Smallville, like, do you guys know where Smallville used to air? Like when it was actually on TV? Like did you guys even get Smallville in the UK?
I don't even know if we got it.
We
probably did somewhere, but probably when it was airing, it was a little bit, before I was.
Me and Deck are too young, I'm afraid.
So it's
available on ITV right now and Amazon Prime, I think, as well in the UK. So right now, but I don't know back when it aired.
Nathan says something called E4.
Oh really? Oh, that makes sense.
It's just another TV channel, right?
What's E4?
But it does a lot of like it kind of does like a lot of like teen drama kind of shows. It's also where Batwoman debuted here, funnily enough.
Oh yeah.
So kind of like the WB the way it was back in the day, like the channel, the WB.
Yeah, it's kind of similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it was subtitled Superman: The Early Years, according to Craig, when it came out in the UK, which is interesting. I mean, not everyone knows Smallville is Superman in the general public, so I understand that. But yeah, I really want to see this happen. And as you said, Deck, it would really be a good precedent for more Elseworlds projects to come. And that's been a question of mine. It's like, okay, they're going to be really focused on the DCU for now, but you've got the Batman, you've got Joker. What else are we going to get beyond that? I would like to see some stuff. I don't expect much in the next 5 years. But after like 5 years, I want to start seeing some more Elseworlds projects. And I think the Smallville one is a good place to start. And then potentially you could get like an Arrowverse animated show. That would be just a dream, I think, just to get back to that world. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just a good starting place for Elseworlds. So, yeah, I think that pretty much does it to that Smallville segment. Not really going to talk about what Tom was talking about, Talkville, but he just discussed like his role in Crisis and the fact that he got asked back many times to come back and he never came back. And then Crisis, he got asked and it was just one scene and yeah, he just really enjoyed it. Is basically what he said. His scene with John Cryer in the Batwoman episode, part 2 of Crisis. So yeah, that must have been pretty cool for Craig to be there, because that was, you know, like Smallville Central. That is the Smallville event to go to. But yeah, okay, let's talk about the Oscars. So this is something a bit different, guys. We're not gonna talk DC, although I guess DC fits into it since there's lots of stunts and big action scenes in DC films and TV shows. But the Oscars are looking at the possibility of adding a stunt category to the Oscars. So according to the CEO of the Academy, they said, we're talking to members of the stunt community right now, and I think he said more in an article. But basically, the question is, what do we think of this? And it's probably been a long time coming, and it's crazy that they're just thinking of doing it now. I guess Fall Guy might have been the reason why they're like, okay, maybe
that's probably a reason, honestly, at this point.
Yeah. So, Andy,
I think it's. I think it's very progressive them to finally start realizing that the people who work in stunt, they're risking their lives to give us, content, entertainment, and and also they're protecting actors who are in these lead roles. So I think it's it should have happened so much sooner, but I am happy that they're considering this at all, because it's like stunts is just as much part of art as anything else. Fight scenes, they're creating, like if something, let's say comic book properties, for example, that that we always talk about. People like who have made these comics happen, they're drawing for hours and hours and so on, and then when you actually see it come to life, that there's so much that goes into building these action scenes, and and like there's been sadly some stories where stunt people have lost their lives, like where they literally die performing a stunt.
Was it definitely I think.
I'm not sure which one.
It was the motorcycle stunt,
apparently. But yeah, it's like I think it's a shame that the Academy hasn't recognized them for all these decades, that they existed. When if you go back in history and you look at like when stunts, when filmmaking was, when we didn't have all these fancy stuff that we have now, again, that was even more dangerous and that was even riskier. So I'm glad to hear they're actually considering it, and I hope that it will result with them finally making it, an actual category. And I'm hoping that will mean because I don't know if the Emmys and the Golden Globes have it, but like if they don't, and the Oscars start doing it, hopefully it will encourage other award shows to recognize that.
Yeah, it's absolutely a long time coming and long overdue. Stunt people are consistently overlooked, and I do agree that I think The Fall Guy as a movie is something that's brought this conversation up, because a huge part of the press for that movie was talking about stunt people, and they had the stunt people so involved in the press of it, to get their faces and their names out there and stuff. Ryan Gosling basically just took a backseat for most of it. So it's long overdue. And I think also this conversation really struck up last year when people were like, how in God's name has John Wick 4 not got some place to shine in the Oscars because of how brilliant its actions and stunt choreography was. But this is something that's been going on for years and years and years. There's always been these tremendous action films. I look at things like, even just in the Hollywood space, you look at it like Mad Max Fury Road, you're looking at Mission Impossible Fallout, these really big tentpole blockbusters that had just incredible stunt choreography, and like the John Wick movies as well. And they just got nothing. They got no love from the Academy, and that's just because one category where they would really thrive would be stunts, but it didn't exist. So it's such a long time coming. I really hope it does go through, because to your point, Andy, all the other award shows, to my knowledge, don't really have stunt categories either. So if the Oscars do go ahead and start doing this, then everyone else should follow. Because they just need it, man. They're risking their lives. They're doing. I'm not saying that one job is better than the other or whatever, but most other people on a film crew aren't putting their life at risk. Not to diminish their work or saying that, you know, they're not as important or whatever, but it's a big thing to be putting your life on the line for your job, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a long time coming, and I mean, I think even though not all films have, you know, stunts and everything, but there is so many films that do that they definitely need to find a way of recognizing them. And yeah, I think they should have done this years ago, to be honest, when like I don't know, I don't know what type of film, but like one of the John Wicks came out or something, they should have like realized, oh shit, like maybe we should be recognizing these guys, like the people that actually do it. And like the fact that I think the fact that they literally risk their lives, as seen in The Fall Guy, obviously, it's kind of been like the director just has been forcing them to just like realize, oh shit, like maybe we should actually do this, and they're starting to, and maybe they kind of embarrass them a little bit, you know, like they realize, oh shit, like we're stupid.
Well, the thing is, you know, David Leitch, who's the director of The Fall Guy, he's an ex-stunt guy.
Yeah.
Like that was his job for a long time. Like he was, who was he? Brad Pitt's stunt double or something for years. He was someone's stunt double. I think it was Brad Pitt.
Could be.
But he was, yeah, he was a stunt guy in Hollywood for a really long time, and then obviously his breakout into directing was the original John Wick, and he's just been doing all these great action movies ever since then. And
Yeah.
it's, I think, you know, it's this inbuilt passion for him where he's like, you know, let's get some recognition for all the stuff that's been going on for years and years and years. You know, even back, you know, you look at some like the earliest movies ever made. I'm thinking of stuff, you know, I'm going back to like Buster Keaton stuff. You know what I mean? It's like some of the original kind of iconic pieces of cinema were stunt showcases. So the fact that, you know, throughout the entire history of cinema, we haven't had that kind of recognition when it's been going on from the very beginning is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff that those early guys did, like Buster Keaton, like they weren't even using like wires or anything.
No
mats or anything. Like they were jumping onto trains, off buildings. It's kind of crazy. So yeah,
I don't remember. Declan, I don't know if you remember. Yeah, because I'm sure you've seen it, but like, you know, like something like Captain America: The Winter Soldier had some of the best fight scenes of all time for Marvel. That I'm kind of like, man, something like that deserved something. You know, I don't know if they deserve to win, but at least an Academy nomination for stunts. So it's like, yeah, like now I'm glad that now, you know, and also I think that this will also maybe encourage more, you know, because, you know, like there's sometimes I think a lot of, you know, there can be some sloppy action scenes and so on in modern film, but maybe now this will also like encourage, you know, all productions to make sure that the stunts and action parts are just as done well as anything else in their films. So
yeah, I mean, any form of competition increases quality.
Yeah.
So yeah, the idea of that being there will help that. But I also think, you know, there is going to be a progression with this, because one thing I would always point to is I'm personally a big fan of like Indonesian action cinema.
Yeah, me too.
So like like The Raid, The Night Comes for Us, Headshot, like there's so many I can name off the top of my head, but all those films, like they have just the, like, if you like the John Wick movies and you think what they do is cool, watch those. Those films have real martial artists truly beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
And it's insane what they do. And I imagine even if the stunt category goes through, you know, films like that will not get recognized for a long time in that category. So I still think there's a progression to come with this, but you know, it's still a starting point. So, you know, hopefully we'll get there someday.
Yeah, if you like you know, old like Hong Kong action films like Jackie Chan, what they're doing in Indonesia is like the next level version of the Hong Kong action film.
Even in like India is really big as well. With like there's a really great looking film coming out very soon. It's called Kill, which is a Indian action film set on a train, and it looks just bloody and brutal and incredible. If you watched Monkey Man, they played the trailer in front of that, and it looks fantastic. So again, that would be like someone I would think of as like, oh, that could be a good contender for best stunts, most likely, unless it's a bad movie. Who knows? It's not come out yet, but you know, just from the trailer, it looks incredible. But I think films, you know, of a foreign language and not from the US are probably going to get shafted for the time being.
Yeah. No, I agree. Do we have any final comments on this, or do you think that's pretty much it? I think I've pretty much covered what I wanted to say, but yeah, it should be a thing. I hope the Oscars actually do this, but I would not expect it this year. It would be next year, absolute earliest, probably the year after, if I'm being completely honest, because these big events and they don't change very fast. But yeah, let's talk about our next couple of topics. One more DC topic to talk about. Let's talk about lanterns. So there was another rumor out there. Again, no idea what this site is. Like, you just see like loads of people online reposting this stuff, and it's just like it makes it look legit, right? So you see it and you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Lanterns shooting at this day, but I don't know if this site is legit. I've never heard of it, so probably not. So take it
What's
with
the
a
name
big
of the
grain of
site?
salt. Huh?
What's the name of the site?
Let me get it up. Anyway, basically, whilst I find that, it's called. So DC Film News posted it on Twitter, and they just report on a lot of stuff. But the news place is called Nexus Point News. They have a lot of followers on Twitter. But they are reporting that production is supposed to start in Q1 of 2025 in the UK. So, Andy, let's go to you. Yeah, no.
I mean, the thing is, like, this type of information is like I'm sure it's true. Again, I don't know where their sources are from and so on. Like again, I like these film news, and I know the people who run that account. And next one, I don't know
No, I
who
like
they
them
are.
too.
Yeah, but like the fact that they're gonna start shooting next year and probably in the UK, it's like it's not too shocking. It's like it's kind of information that we would
kind of
all
expected, right?
Yeah, like I mean, I was kind of surprised that they're going to do it in UK, but because they're building all, they're building something at Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
the UK places. So, like that doesn't shock me at all. It's like, yeah, they're going to start casting for Hal and John. Like, yeah, we knew they're the leads, so like, of course they're going to start casting the leads. So, but like, yeah, until James Gunn says anything, like, yeah, I think it's worth taking anything like this with a grain of salt.
Definitely.
But like, yeah, we just that's a pretty cool image that they put together.
Yeah.
And the age range. I mean, like this age range. This sounds like something. This sounds exactly what they were going to do with the Green Lantern Corps movie, back when the DCU was still a thing. That like Hal was going to be older and John was kind of going to be like a bit younger. So cool. But yeah, like it's nothing shocking. Like it's.
No, but okay. So I don't know if their sources are like fully legit because they don't disclose the sources, but it is as we expect. So that's why it's not shocking. It's like I could come up with this, like and report on. So that's why I'm uncertain about it. I'm not trying to diss on Nexus Point News. As far as I know, the sources could be great and it could be 100%. But yeah, just take it with a big grain.
But it's more reaffirming when it comes from James or from Warner Brothers. So I think like they just announced the show and so on. I think that they could still very well be writing season 1 of Lanterns, and maybe they haven't. But again, it's like, yeah, either it will start filming later this year or next year, and yeah, they're gonna start. They're obviously gonna cast their leads first. So
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Deck, any thoughts on Lanterns or?
I mean, the only thing I thought was interesting was there's been a lot of controversy actually around the whole age gap between Hal and John. Obviously, this is all rumor at this point, so take it with a grain of salt. But I believe was it Hal Jordan? They're looking between 43 and 49.
Yeah, well,
John is a bit younger.
This is it.
So a lot of people are just like, oh, like they're making Hal like an old man. I mean, not really.
Old man Hal Jordan.
Especially
middle-aged Hal Jordan driving.
When you think about like Hollywood old, that's not old.
No.
And also, I mean, I'll admit, it's older than I thought it would be. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people when I'm seeing the names chucked around, fan castings and stuff. This is definitely a lot older. Like I know I had like Patrick Schwarzenegger in my head, for the role of Hal. So that's definitely a lot younger. But then I have seen, like, today, I saw someone chuck up, like, Alden Ehrenreich.
He's
Who's
not
in
old
that
enough.
age bracket. Well, I think he's in that age bracket, I believe.
Really?
I could be wrong, but I think he is.
Yeah, Ben. People do age at some point.
No, he's 34 years old.
Oh, so he's quite a bit off then. But I saw someone posted that in response to this news, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I can see that. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Like I say, until James or Warner Brothers or Peter Safran confirm anything.
Yeah, I mean, it could be somewhere between like Alden Ehrenreich's age and like between like John Hamm, who's like 53 or something. So like in between there, I guess is what they're going for. So yeah, then in Hollywood, 40-year-olds look like 30-year-olds. So
and the thing is, just because they're searching for these ages, it doesn't necessarily mean that
the characters are that age.
Yeah. Like for example, like someone who is 40, like maybe Hal will still be 35.
Yeah.
Like they're
in Hollywood, if you cast a 35-year-old, they look 25. So cast 10 years above, right, Andy?
Sure.
But yeah, I don't have a problem with the age gap. But yeah, I guess it's just what they plan on doing, and fair enough. Anyway, well, if Jon Stewart is in the kind of later range, like 35, and then Hal Jordan's 43, that's not a big age gap anyway. So that's like only 8 years, so whatever.
It almost feels like a big brother, little brother type of dynamic in that case.
Yeah, and it might be good. Like, isn't it supposed to be like, what was their reference?
True Detective?
True Detective, like kind of, it could be like that in terms of the tone, but then wasn't it described as like a kind of buddy cop, like, two people going along as the main characters, and then,
I feel like anything these days that focuses on two specific people, they always say buddy cop type of stuff.
I know, but yeah. You get the idea, guys. Yeah. We get the idea. But let's have a little chat as we head towards the end of the stream. We got a final topic. Let's talk Venom. Huh? So thoughts on the trailer? Because I've only watched it once, so I don't really have too many thoughts, but it looks like Venom.
So Sony's going to Sony. Especially when it comes to the Spunk universe. Sony's going to do what Sony's going to do. I love it. I love the train wreck that this universe is. Every time a film comes out, it is a celebration for me. I just think it's fascinating. Just the way the snowball that they've created gets bigger and bigger. It's fascinating. It's incredible. We all thought, we all laugh at the Dark Universe for just completely fumbling their universe straight out of the gate, first foot out the door. I mean, Sony's 6 movies in, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's absolutely incredible. This year we had Madam Web, and this year we've got Venom 3, and we've also got Craven coming out. Who knows where we're going to end up? I am on this magical mystery tour. I am strapped in. I'm excited.
Madam Web, the best film ever. And now we've got Venom, The Last Dance.
It's incompetence that makes me laugh the most.
But it's the most knowing incompetence. They know it's shit.
Yeah,
surely.
It's but the big thing coming out of this trailer is that there's a scene from this trailer that is seemingly taking place in the MCU, given the post-credit scene of No Way Home, but it's clearly not in the MCU. So it's is this just Sony once again doing the bullshit marketing thing that they've done with Morbius and Madam Web, or is it that they genuinely just don't know? And that's the best bit. You can't tell, and that's the best bit. I love everything about it. I'm here for it.
Are you here for the Venom horse?
The Venom horse is a great addition to this franchise.
That's what we've been waiting for, guys.
The fact that he could say it with a straight face. Wow, bravo.
He's a serious fan, guys. Okay. Andy, what's your thoughts on Venom?
So I actually love the Venom movies. Generally, I actually think they're good movies. They're entertaining. Here's the thing that I don't need everything to be a cinematic masterpiece. I just want to have a good time at the film. And I Venom is he's one of my favorite Spider-Man characters. and that's the only thing Venom is the only thing that has worked in this franchise. Nothing else has worked. So like when it comes to the whole, the is it an MC or not? And so I think that what they're gonna do is, like whoever these characters are that are hunting Venom and so on. There you go. Like, what a beauty. I definitely think
What
like
a
that
good
these.
boy.
I think these people who are hunting the symbiote and so on, I think they can travel between the multiverse. I think that's why they're like making sure that, hey, we don't want the symbiote to be spread anywhere, so that because now that they've tapped into the multiverse with Venom, like I can see like there's other characters in that world they can like tap in back and forth, and like that's why like they undid the Spider-Man No Way Home post-credit scene, so that way that's why we know that Spider-Man 4 likely won't have a symbiote storyline. But no, but I thought this looks fun. I think it will be a nice little wrap up to this trilogy. And I don't know. I feel people are so hard.
It looks fucking crazy.
But like, what? I don't mind that. I think again, I like to just have fun sometimes. And again, this is a good buddy cop type of story that I enjoy. And the fact that because they know like, hey, we're based on comic. Let's just get a little bit nuts. Like I'm not expecting this to be like Citizen Kane or anything like that. Like I just let it just be an entertaining movie and so on. It will definitely be interesting to see what's going to happen after Craven. Because they haven't announced anything after Craven. I think that maybe that's where
they're running out of money spending on these.
Well, no, I think they're going to shift from the Sony Spider-Man universe. I think they're going to shift it to all those Spider-Man TV shows on Amazon. I think that's kind of what the new direction is. Yeah, no, I didn't mind it. I thought it was like, hey, this looks fun. Like it doesn't, like this makes sense. It's I can, unlike Madam Web, I can see a story here, and I'm like, yeah, I can see a story.
Madam Web is Citizen Kane of this universe. Okay.
In your ass probably, but no.
The thing is, I agree. Like I do like, especially the first Venom, I really like, and the second one I thought was good fun as well. Like I joke about this universe, and I do love the absolute train wreck that this universe is.
Yeah. See, I think that applies to Morbius and Madam Web. I don't think the Venom movies. I would not say that they're.
Well, I feel like this movie is starting to go into that because Sony is using it to bait people, which is what they did with Morbius and is what they did with Madam Web, where they're dropping these, and they're doing it with Craven as well, but they're dropping these little hints to Spider-Man and the Spider-Man universe throughout, where it's like, yeah, but none of that is either going to A, be in the movie, or B, be relevant. Yeah. But I mean, I think it looks fun. Like, it does look cool. Like, I really like the Venom movies. Tom Hardy is brilliant in the role. Like, just his commitment to it is fantastic. I think it's going to be a good time. I think it's going to be a laugh. Again, I just can't wait to see what kind of bullshit they throw into it, because it's always entertaining.
I cannot wait to see the toys that this will come with this horse, because like if they did like a
Andy show from the background.
No, I'm not doing that. If they did this as like a Barbie horse, oh my, I would give so much credit to the Sony marketing team, because that was just insane. I'm like, they're not like, because when he's like, how long can you control this before it dies? And I'm like, they're not actually gonna do this. And then it actually looks like good CGI. So it's
peak cinema, guys. As Man on the Moon says in the chat, I don't know. Anyway, I enjoy Venom as well. I preferred Venom 1. I didn't like the villain, but Venom 2 was fun in the way that they kind of took it. But yeah, the other films in the universe are just hilarious. It's I think they're definitely kind of going into that, and then they're leaning into the Spider-Man thing, as you said. So yeah,
but we haven't got to El Muerto yet. So
you think? That's cute. You think that's still happening? Although I'm not gonna lie. When I heard the idea that, I think this was in the Hollywood Reporter, but apparently Tombstone was gonna be in it. I'm like, well, fuck. Now I kind of actually wanted to just see that movie just for Tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true? Tombstone was going to be what? He was going to be the villain.
He was going to be the Let's see. Hold on, I'm pulling this up. Talk amongst yourself for a second.
That'd be kind of crazy though, because like Tombstone, I think would be like he's a villain that I think they could easily put into a Spider-Man movie. So the idea of them, but it's like in Craven, like Rhino is in that movie.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. The project had so this is from the Hall Reporter. The project had not even started shooting, so making that day would have been either a race or a non-starter. Sources say that the project fell victim to the ongoing writer's strike. The script needed additional work as of mid-spring, but services could not be rendered in time. The feature was also not yet cast, but sources say that the studio was making choices and had been circling professional wrestler Mercedes Varnado, all known by her stage name as Sasha Banks, for a role, and Marvin Jones the third for the role of the crime lord known as Tombstone. Jones previously voiced the character in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and for Arrowverse fans, that's the man who did Tobias Whale.
Tobias Whale.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To be fair, that's pretty good casting for Tombstone.
That is good.
Also, that man is such a sweetheart in real life. Like, it's like you meet him and you would not even think like, oh, that's Tobias Whale. Like, he's so nice. Yeah, the fact that he was gonna get to play Tombstone, I'm like, yeah, that's.
I mean, he could still play it at one point in another project if that doesn't go ahead.
Maybe in Spider-Man 4 or something.
Yeah, well, we shall see. Do we have anything else to talk about? Or because we've gone through.
Well, Avengers 5 almost have a director, but you don't like anything the MCU.
No, we can talk about that. I just didn't see that.
No, because you don't like the MCU. So point taken.
Andy, no one said I don't like it. Okay, no one said that. Just because I don't cover it very much, but maybe I will. So, where is this report?
The Hall Reporter.
Everywhere a couple of days ago.
But yeah, Sean Levy from Deadpool and Wolverine, he is being courted to do Avengers 5, and I hope this happens. I hope this deal goes through, and because everything I'm hearing about Deadpool and Wolverine, it sounds amazing. So I'm like, yeah, let him have it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't love him as a director, but I would like to see another Avengers film, so I don't mind. And I understand that he's very much connected to this Marvel world now. Because of Deadpool and Wolverine, and if they really like it, and I'm really looking forward to that film, I think it makes sense. I mean, yeah, Deck, what's your thoughts? I don't really have too much.
I like Sean. I do like Sean Levy as a director. Particularly, he did a lot of films that I loved growing up. But like his more recent output, stuff like Free Guy and The Adam Project.
I love the Adam Project.
No, that's what I mean. His recent films haven't impressed me.
I mean, obviously, I'll do a wait and see. I'll take a rain check on it until Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, because that will be a test. Especially if Deadpool and Wolverine is quite big in scale, which I imagine it's going to be. That will give us a better indication of how he will do as like an Avengers director. I just don't know. Like, first thought out of my head is like, oh, I think there's other people you could get for this.
Yeah.
Didn't he do Stranger Things as well?
He is one of the directors on Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So he's used to working with big cast.
Yeah,
but on TV, not. No, well, yeah. Actually, his films are big as well, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
He did the Night at the Museum trilogy. Put some respect on the name.
Yeah.
Big cast.
He does produce a lot of stuff anyway, so he's involved in a lot of big projects anyway.
He did also do Real Steel, and that movie slapped.
Yeah. And Stranger Things, he was an executive producer, not just a director. So yeah, he was literally one of the creators of the show. So yeah, I mean, he's clearly got the resume behind him, and I understand them getting him on board, especially if Deadpool and Wolverine is as good as it's supposed to be. It makes complete sense. But yeah, I'm like you, Deck. For me, I would have thought of some other directors before I went straight to him. But I understand that.
Well, they're still looking at. I mean, there's other directors in the mix, definitely. But like, I think that in terms of like
wasn't the Shang-Chi director supposed to direct?
Yeah, and then he dropped.
Daniel Cretton was going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he just got caught up in doing other stuff because I know, like, he's heavily involved in the Wonder Man series. He's also doing, there's like a Shang-Chi series apparently that's in the works. There's obviously a Shang-Chi sequel coming at some point down the line. So I think he's kind of tied up in all that. He just didn't have time to do Avengers 5, which is a shame because he's genuinely a fantastic director.
I thought it was a good choice for the.
He is a good choice. I just think I think there's just other people they probably could have gone with over this, but I mean the report does say that they are still discussing with other directors while they're waiting for like a reply from Sean Levy apparently. So
Yeah, he just got the latest draft of the script. So
yeah.
I think he's probably just looking that over and see what he thinks. Because initially, apparently, so they had apparently offered to him in mid-May, but he initially had to say no because he was busy with filming other stuff. But apparently, Marvel decided that they were willing to like change the timetable for him. So, yeah, like they clearly really want him. So I always imagine like someone like Ryan Coogler would have been a good choice to do this because
Ryan Coogler was my top choice for Secret Wars. He still might be potentially because when you're going to look at MCU directors, like you've got to look, especially when it comes to the Avengers movies, you've got to look at who's directed for Marvel in the past because usually they'll go back to someone who they had success with. So like Ryan Coogler is a great choice, both the Black Panther movies, or like I know Sam Raimi's name's obviously been chucked around, which obviously Sam Raimi speaks for himself really. So I think you've got to look at that, and that's why I also think like Destin Daniel Cretton was a good choice for Avengers 5, just because I think Shang-Chi is one of the better films out of Phase 4. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I do agree though. Coogler would be great if he wants to do it.
I mean, this one because they have the same writer now doing Avengers 5 and Secret Wars. At this point they should just like whoever they get for Avengers 5 should direct Avengers Secret Wars as well. Because I mean they're probably gonna try.
Yeah, it should be a continuation with directors. Yeah, I agree. They should direct.
They'll probably shoot them back to back as well, most likely.
At this point, I think they probably have to, because they're talking about the idea of maybe having like more than 60 cast members, and I'm like, they need to whoever they get to put amongst those 60 cast members probably needs to be people that they sign on for both films. So that's because we know that the whole they're not going to call it Kang Dynasty anymore, so but like just call it Secret Wars Part 1 and Secret Wars Part 2.
Yeah, for sure. Well, anyway, guys, I think that pretty much does it for this live stream. So thank you to Andy, thank you to Deck, as always, for joining us, and thank you to those of you guys watching throughout the live stream, commenting along with us. We'll be back next week, and in the meantime, go check out Andy's pages and links and everything. They're all in the link in the description below, and same with Declan's stuff. And we'll also link the Krypton site articles that we referred to in this live stream as well. So go check out Craig's stuff in the description below. But yeah, for now, go check out all my recent videos on the channel, and we'll have another video out tomorrow. So in the meantime, we'll catch you guys later, and leave a like on this video, leave a like on the live stream. It'll definitely help out. But okay, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.